Imagine this. At this very moment, you have the power to change the way you respond to every challenge life throws your way. Think about the last time you were cut off in traffic, got a passive-aggressive message, or felt completely overwhelmed by something you couldn't control. Maybe it was a stressful meeting, an argument with a friend, or just one of those days where everything seemed to go wrong. In moments like these, we often react without thinking, snapping back, shutting down, or letting anxiety spiral. But what if there was a way to handle these situations differently? What if you could pause, reflect, and respond with clarity instead of emotion? That's where Stoicism comes in. This ancient philosophy isn't just something for dusty old books, it's a powerful, practical guide for modern life. It teaches us how to face challenges with calm, navigate emotions with wisdom, and build a mindset that's grounded and resilient. Today, I want to introduce you to Stoicism not as a set of rules, but as a way of thinking that helps you reclaim control, not over the world, but over yourself. In doing so, it can improve your decision-making, your relationships, and your ability to stay steady, even when life gets messy. At the heart of Stoicism is one simple but powerful idea. You may not control what happens to you, but you can always control how you respond. So let me ask you, what if you could choose your response rather than letting your emotions take control? Absolutely. Here's a fully written version of your outline, flowing naturally as a cohesive, engaging presentation or essay. Let's take a step back and explore what Stoicism actually is. Born in ancient Greece and founded by Zeno of Citium, Stoicism isn't just an abstract philosophical concept. It's a deeply practical approach to life. It was later refined by great thinkers like Marcus Aurelius, the Roman emperor who ruled with wisdom, Epictetus, a former slave turned teacher, and Seneca, a statesman and playwright. Their writings have inspired leaders, thinkers, and everyday people for centuries because they tackled timeless questions. How should we live? How can we thrive in the face of adversity? At the heart of Stoicism lies a crucial distinction: reacting versus responding. It's something we experience every day. Reacting is immediate. It's driven by emotion, anger, fear, frustration. It's slamming the door after an argument, sending a text you later regret, or lashing out when something doesn't go your way. Responding, on the other hand, is deliberate. It comes from a place of clarity and intention. It means pausing, considering your values, and choosing your words or actions thoughtfully. The Stoics believed in emotional mastery. Not emotional suppression, but mastery. The ability to be aware of your emotions without letting them control you. As Epictetus said, "It's not what happens to you, but how you react to it that matters." When we react impulsively, we often make things worse. We say things we don't mean, make poor decisions, and create unnecessary stress. Reactions escalate conflict and drain our energy. They can strain relationships and damage our sense of inner calm. But when we respond, when we take a moment to breathe, to think, to act with intention, we open the door to better outcomes. We preserve peace, not just around us, but within us. Modern psychology backs this up. Mindfulness and emotional intelligence, core Stoic principles, are shown to improve mental health, reduce stress, and enhance relationships. Pausing before reacting is a skill, and like any skill, it can be trained. In today's world, that training is more essential than ever. We live in a fast-paced environment. Work demands never stop, notifications never end, and social media often amplifies anxiety and comparison. It's no wonder we're more reactive than ever. Quick to comment, quick to judge, quick to anger. This constant stimulation taxes our emotional energy and leaves little room for reflection. That's why developing mindfulness and self-awareness is crucial. Mindfulness means being present, fully engaged in the now and tuned into our thoughts and feelings. It gives us the space between stimulus and response. In that space, we can choose how we want to show up. Research shows that mindfulness helps regulate emotions and improves decision-making. It makes us less reactive and more thoughtful, and it beautifully aligns with the Stoic perspective, that we can't control external events, only our responses to them. That's where peace of mind begins, by letting go of what we can't change and taking ownership of what we can. Emotional mastery isn't about pretending we don't feel anger or fear or sadness. It's about recognizing those feelings and deciding how we want to respond to them. It's turning emotion into intention. For example, when we feel anger, we can lash out, or we can acknowledge it, understand where it's coming from, and use it to fuel a productive conversation. That's the difference between chaos and growth. So how do we train our minds to respond, not react? It starts with something simple: a pause. Just one moment between the trigger and your response. That moment might be a deep breath, counting to 10, or stepping away from the situation. It might sound small, but that pause is powerful. It's the gateway to self-control. From there, we can build mindfulness practices into our daily lives. Focused breathwork calms the nervous system and centers us. Body scans help us tune into physical signs of stress. Observing our thoughts, without judging or getting swept up in them, creates emotional distance and awareness. Another powerful tool is cognitive reframing, which Stoics practiced regularly. It means changing the way we see a situation. Instead of viewing a setback as a failure, we can see it as a lesson. Instead of seeing an annoying coworker as a problem, we can see them as an opportunity to practice patience. That simple shift changes everything. Journaling is another Stoic practice worth adopting. Marcus Aurelius journaled almost every day, reflecting on his thoughts, actions, and emotions. Journaling gives us space to review how we've responded to life's events and helps us spot patterns, especially when we're reacting instead of responding. It's a tool for growth and accountability. Compassion also plays a key role. Stoics believed in understanding human nature and showing empathy, even to those who challenge us. When we remember that people act out of their own pain or ignorance, we're less likely to take things personally and more likely to respond with grace. One more powerful practice: visualization. Imagine yourself in a situation that normally triggers you: an argument, a stressful deadline, a criticism. Now, visualize yourself staying calm, centered, and composed. That mental rehearsal strengthens your ability to respond well when it really happens. When we practice all of this, pausing, reflecting, reframing, staying mindful, we reap the benefits. Our relationships become stronger. Instead of fighting fire with fire, we respond with understanding and care. Conflicts de-escalate, respect grows, trust deepens. We make better decisions, especially under pressure. Leaders who pause, reflect, and respond with clarity are more respected and more effective. And in our personal lives, that same approach helps us avoid regrets and build a more thoughtful path forward. We also develop greater emotional resilience. Life doesn't get easier, but we get stronger. We don't get thrown off course as easily. We're able to handle difficulty with courage and poise. Most importantly, this shift from reacting to responding leads to deep personal growth and inner peace. We begin to live in alignment with our highest values. We become less controlled by fleeting emotions and more guided by reason, purpose, and integrity. This is what the Stoics meant by a good life. Not a life free from difficulty, but a life where we choose how to meet it. So the next time life throws something unexpected your way, and it will, remember this: you always have a choice. Not in what happens, but in how you respond. And that choice, moment by moment, is where your power lies. Would you like this formatted as a speech script, a blog post, or maybe even slides for a presentation? Let's bring everything we've explored into real life. Because Stoicism isn't just a theory to admire, it's a practice meant to be lived day by day, moment by moment. Think about a tough conversation with a friend or colleague. Maybe there's tension, disagreement, or something unsaid that's been building. The natural reaction: defensiveness, interruption, maybe even anger. But a Stoic response looks different. It begins with listening. It means holding space, staying calm, and responding with clarity rather than ego. It means asking, what is the best way to handle this that aligns with my values? Or imagine facing an unexpected setback. A project you poured your heart into falls apart. You could spiral into frustration and blame, or you could stop, take a breath, and remember the Stoic principle. I cannot control outcomes, only my effort. You regroup, learn from it, and move forward with wisdom instead of self-pity. Even in everyday moments, like sitting in traffic or waiting in a painfully slow line, we're tested. Reacting looks like cursing under your breath and growing increasingly agitated. But responding? That might look like taking the opportunity to breathe, to reflect, or to simply accept the moment for what it is. Incorporating Stoicism into your life doesn't require hours of study or a complete lifestyle change. It's about small, intentional actions. You can start the day with just a few minutes of mindfulness. Set a clear intention for how you want to respond to challenges. Throughout the day, notice your thoughts. When a negative one arises, try to reframe it. This isn't happening to me, it's happening for me. And at night, take a moment to reflect. How did I respond today? What could I do differently tomorrow? If there's one takeaway from all of this, let it be this. Start small. Begin with one moment, one pause, one response chosen instead of a reaction given. From there, the practice grows. So I invite you, starting today, to take the principles of Stoicism off the page and into your life. Begin with awareness. Practice the pause. Reframe the moment. Reflect at the end of your day. And bit by bit, you'll start to feel the shift. Not just in how you respond, but in who you're becoming. Because the true power in life isn't in controlling what happens to us. It's in mastering how we respond, and that choice, over and over again, is where your strength lives. Would you like this full script in a presentation-ready format or broken down into slide bullet points?